Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are back streaming. It's been a long while. Really glad that I'm able to be back in the booth here. My name's Jonathan Salos. I'm going to be your host today for OSCC Season 9, Race 7. We are here at Talladega today, and I'm sure this one is to be an exciting one. We got a lot of drivers, I believe 19 here in the field. So a lot of competition here, and I'm really excited. Like I said, back in the booth, it's been, I think, 2 seasons since my last stream. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone in the booth with me here tonight, but this race is dedicated to Kyle Busch, NASCAR star. I'm sure most people know him, but if you don't, he was a star in the NASCAR scene. I believe 230 wins across the top 3 series in NASCAR. He passed away earlier this week, unexpectedly, but we are doing this race in his honor. So you will see a lot of Kyle Busch tribute schemes. I believe there's 10 or so in the field dedicated to him. So glad to see everyone supporting Kyle Busch and his family after what has happened. But like I said, we got a good race for you here tonight. Glad you all decided to join us this evening. And yeah, we'll get underway in just a second here. And they have fired engines. We do have, I believe, one restart attempt, so if something happens on this first attempt, they'll just restart it. But hopefully we don't need that. Alexander Gonzalez Green took pole, his second pole of the season here in Season 7. And beside him is Skylar Den, who hasn't had the greatest streak of races lately, so he's looking to bounce back and have a great race here in Talladega. He's won here before, so he knows what it takes. Looking to see if he can get it done. So Alexander Gonzalez Green, Skylar Den on the front row. Then it's William Viola and William Gregory, Jelani Howe, Daniel Rivera, Taha Aziz, and Fraser Rodriguez. Then it's Landon Lyle, Harry Crawford, Lorenzo Edarovic, Ian Tweetins, Dragons, Cameron McElrath, and I'm not going to get through the rest before they go green. Started that a bit too late. But coming to the green flag, Alexander Gonzalez Green leads them, and they're rolling here at Talladega for the KFB 125. Slow and controlled start up front, but out back you already see people shuffling around. Pretty even from the front 2 lanes. Oh, Rivera with a big wiggle. He's all over the place. Saves it barely in front of Taha Aziz. Oh, but Taha does get turned. Landon Lyle's there too. Taha's gonna flip, and they're gonna restart. Okay. Wow. Yeah, not sure what happened with Rivera there, but that is the one dedicated restart that they had, and our drivers here restarting. So crazy. That is the one dedicated restart though. Hopefully we won't have a caution on the first lap this next time around, but who knows? It's NR. You never know with these guys. Okay, this time we're gonna try to actually get through the entire starting order once everyone starts moving. But like I said, this is the KFB 125 in honor of Kyle Busch with a lot of his schemes on track. I'll try to point them out here. The top two, Alexander Gonzalez Green and Skylar Den, both running one. William Viola in the M&M's car. Taha Aziz, Fraser Rodriguez, Skittles, Jelani Howe as well. Sorry. It's not exact, but it's a pedigree car, which Kyle did run. Landon Lyle's in one. In Toy Tins, Cameron McElrath, And who's that in the back? That is 04 of Jolene Sims and Carl Childers. So decent amount of Kyle Busch throwbacks here. Glad to see those, but
drivers, start
engines will fire for the second time. We're gonna actually try to get through this starting order this time, so forgive me for the slip up last time, but that won't happen again. I think we're gonna get started out of 3 or out of 4, or a little closer, not so late, out of 4. Okay, so going through the starting order: Alexander Gonzalez Green and Skylar Dent on row 1. Then it's William Viola and William Gregory, Jelani Howell and Danny Rivera, Star Sport teammates. Then it is Taha Aziz and Frayson Rodriguez, Rodriguez Racing Team teammates. Landon Lyle and Harry Crawford. Then it is Lorenzo Edorovic and Ian Tweetins, Dragons and Cam McElrath. Then it is Hector Garcia and Juko Shinonome, Alexander Hunt and Daniel Rodriguez, Carl Childress, Jolene Sims, and then Kirsten Bell to round out the final car on the grid. Again, that was our only restart, so this time they're taking the green and there's no more restarts. AGG will lead the field to green and cross the stripe first ahead of Skyler with a better restart. But that outside has seen in practice that they can have what it takes as long as you got some good pushers up there. But these Star Sport guys, they like to get together. I've seen on a lot of other super speedways. If they can get together, that'll be huge for them and not great for the rest of the field. Already a lot of wiggling. Dragons looking to drop low. He is going to the back. A lot of cars you'll see will like to drop to the back early and just, kind of sit, wait for the wreck to happen, and then try to profit from that. So we'll see if that plan works out for him. Ooh, a couple cars hitting that apron on the exit of 4. It's a tricky turn. It kind of loosens up on you, and then all of a sudden you're touching the apron. And same with the trial wheel, it can get you all out of shape. But Gonzalez Green is going to lead the first lap. And so far so good. They're starting to single out really heavily. Lorenzo in the wall, up in 2. See if he can get off of it and get back down. He's still in it. There we go. Finally gets off of it. But I think that's going to lose him the draft. You see how far back he is. Not even sure if Carl Childers still in the draft back there. He might be. But you see how quick they were to single out. Here come Landon Lyle and Dylan Rodriguez. They're looking to make something happen on the top, but D-Dog's going to leave him. Paul Aziz hops up instead and will fill that role. But again, not a lot going on to begin. Just guys wanting to go single file. Skyler didn't drop back a bit. He is in 7th now, behind Harry Crawford. William Viola moved up to 2nd behind Gonzalez Green. See how quick these things change, especially when you start on that outside line. It can go pretty bad pretty quick. As both Den and William Gregory, who started on that top, have already fallen back more than 5 spots from where they started. Ooh, big wiggle from Frayson. But he manages to hold on in that Skittles 01. The Candyman throwback, as are many others, but he's the only one in the Skittles throwback, so shout out to him. Dallas Green is also in a Kyle Busch throwback. I forget what that sponsor is. I can't read. I think it's Z-Line. But that was another Kyle Busch throwback, like I said earlier. You see Lorenzo in the back there, coming out of turn 2. He has already lost the draft, unfortunately. That is huge. Ooh, you see a bit of whoop. I couldn't tell who that was. It's Cam McElrath on the top side. Looks like he got out of line to not hit into anybody. So far, so good, though. He'll get back in line in front of the 59. He does. Danny Rodriguez peeking outside. Trying to see what he can do early. Ooh, not clear there, and Alexander Hunt is going to take that spot gladly. And there goes D-Dog, falling back. Does get in behind Jolene Sims. but spots lost there. Now Alexander Hunt follows in his footsteps and tries the outside, and that's not going to work for him, and he's probably going to fall back, possibly even further. Still out front, AGG leads over William Viola, Lonnie Howell, Fraser Rodriguez, and Daniel Rivera, your top 5. See everybody single file right now. I think everyone's just going to try to make it. Whoa, big wiggle from the 59 of Tweetons. I think everyone's just going to try to make it to pit stops, this first round of pit stops, before they really start to do anything. And as we know from previous plate races, or any plate race really that you'll watch, people get really separated after that first wave of pit stops. They're missing the exit a little bit, and they're kind of shuffling back here now. Scully didn't look like he was about to go top. Blocks William Gregory. Big block there. He had to hold that spot, or else he was going to go toppling back. But a lot of people get shuffled around on these pit stops. It gets really, really confusing, and people switch around a lot because one bad pit stop, one speeding penalty can put you almost a lap down at Talladega. It won't put you quite a lap down. And there go 2 cars to the top. Not sure if that was intentional. William Gregory and Daniel Rodriguez. And here comes Jolene Sims to help. These 3 looking to make a move. Jolene drops back to the bottom though. A lot of these drivers that go to the top end up backing out and don't commit to it. Not sure if they can really do anything with just 2 drivers, but we'll see. We'll see if they make any headway right now. Side by side with Sims. Oh, and there goes Rodriguez. We'll drop back to the bottom, and William Gregory will fall once again. Hector Garcia, 1 car to point out, took his first win in just his 4th start in OSCC last weekend at Pocono. Obviously that race wasn't streamed, but in a fuel mileage finish at Pocono, he was able to get a close win, just under 2/10 over Kirsten Bell, who was ironically right behind him. So big win for him. Really glad to see that he is doing well already, and like I said, just his 4th start. Right now he is running at 14th, but obviously it seems like he's kind of just chilling back here, kind of content with where he's running. So we'll see where he can finish. He is leading Rookie of the Year by a large margin over, I believe, second is Juko Shinonome, who's also right there. But like I said, Hector, things looking good for him this season. We'll see if he's able to make any other moves throughout this race and possibly get himself back-to-back wins. Dog still trying that top line, trying to see what he can make. But nothing again. Comes out empty-handed each time. Same with Alexander Hunt. Now, Gonzalez Green is one driver who's always put on a show every time he shows up in this league. Last weekend, or sorry, not last, 2 weekends ago at New Hampshire, he took a win late over Jolene Sims after only leading, I believe, 19 out of these 75 laps. But it was, the stat sheet doesn't always show everything. He only led 19, and Sims led the other 56. Those were the top 2 all night, and there goes Hector into the wall, I think. Wow, not sure what happened there. They all started wiggling. Yeah, Hector way off pace right now. He should be able to cling on to the draft. Oh, they're all wiggling 3 wide. Dragon splits them because they are all slow. And Hector will get back in line. I'm not sure what happened there. Get a replay on it if we can, but obviously don't want to miss anything live. Now you see 2 split packs, kind of. Dana Rodriguez kind of the bridge between the 2. I think he's still in the draft. None of these guys should lose the draft, but you never want to be in that second split pack, because then people start messing around, fighting each other, and then you guys end up not getting back to the front. But it looks like everyone's going to work together here. But back to what I was saying, Gonzalez Green on Saturday 2 weekends ago because even though he only led 19, in pretty much all those laps where he was behind Sims, he was only at most a second behind Sims. I think the biggest gap was when they came out of pit road after green flag pit stops. But then there was a late yellow that forced everyone down pit road late, and Gonzalez Green was able to hold off Sims for the win. Sims still looking for her first win in OSCC, and it came to a shock to me when I found out the other week that she hasn't won in OSCC. She ran last week as well at Pocono and was looking to be the winner, but took the pit strategy instead of the save strategy, like Hector Garcia did, and she ended up, I believe, 8th. So unfortunate, but still a good run for her. It just didn't work out with her strategy. So she's been putting up some good results here as of late. Right now, she is running 6th, so looking to be good so far. She's slowly worked her way up. I believe she started a lot farther back, closer to 19th. So looking good for her right now, but we'll see as the race continues on. We're on lap 14 now, so pit stops will be soon. The fuel tank usually goes somewhere between 18 to 20, so within the next 5-ish laps, you'll see these drivers start to come down pit road. And that is when things get really tricky, because when do you come down pit road? Who do you come with? You have teammates. Some of these people have teammates, some of them don't, so it really starts to get nervy. And you see the second lane starting to form. Alexander Hunt jumped up top and he wants to lead the second lane. We'll see if someone else jumps in front of him, but they're going to try to start making headway. And this is an interesting time to do it, as you're going to want to get to the bottom for these pit stops, but a lot of drivers electing to go to the top now. Cam McElrath blocked that top lane and kind of checked them up. Oh, 3 wide, he gets shuffled out. Hunt is going to drop back to the bottom. McElrath does get back in position. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on at the back here. You see a lap car up here, that is Lorenzo Inarovic. Unfortunately, like I said, hit that wall earlier and just didn't have the same pace once he hit the wall, probably from damage and from losing the draft. So he will be lapped soon. He's actually going to take it to pit road before they get to him. So not sure if that was an intentional move or if he just needed to go to pit road, but Gonzalez Green has led every lap thus far, with Viola and Howell staying right behind him. I believe this top 5 has stayed the same pretty much since lap 2, all the way back to Rivera. But Jolene Sims has worked her way up to 6th, and everyone back in line now, so nobody trying to peek out. Dragons is the last car in the main pack, as he trails Chico Shinonome. Ian Tuitens has fallen off, as well as Carl Childers. And here comes a lot of the front runners, pretty much all the Toyotas. So Star Sport and one DDR car come down pit road. That will hand the lead over to William Viola, with Fraser Rodriguez right behind him. So interesting strategy. They pit a couple laps earlier than I thought, but Gonzalez Green did have his foot to the floor, so he most likely used more fuel, and those guys linked up and decided to pit with him. So if they can get some good stops, they will get out of there cleanly and possibly back to the lead. They will lose out on not having the draft of the entire pack, though. But we'll see how long the rest of these guys go. If it's only they pit this time, it won't be as bad of an advantage or disadvantage, but they don't pit this time. Viola elects to stay out and lead another lap. They are all off of pit road. Gonzalez Green kind of gaps them. It's Rivera, Rodriguez, and Howell, and they're gonna merge up. It's gonna be sketchy. Cars all over the place. You can merge up once turn 1, once you get into turn 1. So what they did was not illegal, just kind of got the pack out of shape a bit, but that works to their advantage, because the more out of shape that the pack is, the better it looks for those guys who pit early, because it'll slow the main pack down. Lap 18, so I'm wondering if the leaders are going to pit here, and I assume they will. And yes, here comes the whole pack. Friesen Rodriguez gets hit. There goes William Gregory. Big wreck. Caution is going to come out. That is a humongous wreck entering pit road. And Gonzalez Green will take the race back, at least for this pack, but the leader is going to be the 04 of Jolene Sims. She actually, I don't know if she didn't pit or decided to stay out because she wasn't already on pit road. But once the caution comes out, you technically can't go to pit road. Pace car's flying here. So Sims will be the leader. Hopefully she doesn't run out of fuel. But coming off of pit road, Taha Aziz seems to be the leader. Then it's William Viola. Those guys might not have pit either though, so who knows. But this is going to be very interesting to sort out and see who ended up where. These guys still coming around. They are not a lap down because of where they came out. So 04 again is the leader and should be able to pit this time. Want to make sure we don't miss any pit stops before we go take a look at that replay. But wow, what a big mess. When I saw the amount of cars coming that time, I just knew it would not end well. And yeah, the 04 and 48 did stay out. Maybe they weren't past the line, or maybe they got wrecked. Didn't see all of it, but either way, those two will come down pit road. Look to be the only pitters. So while they pit, we're gonna take a look and see what happened to that replay, because that was a mess. It all seemed to start with William Gregory. He got into the 01, coming in way too hot, and then Landon Lyle got into him. Then they had a separate wreck. That was where Sims and Aziz got into it. Oh, Kirsten Bell got clipped there too. Just a massive mess. See if we can see what happened in that other wreck with Aziz. Here's Taha Aziz's on board. As he was coming in pit road. He's also coming in way hot, runs over Viola and Sims. Yeah, so that's what happened with Sims, Viola, and Aziz. They all got together. Wow, just a massive wreck. There was at least like 8 cars in that. And here's Kirsten Bell's on board. She looked like she had it avoided. She was all good, but then the 32 kept spinning, clips her in the rear. Wow, what a massive wreck. Oh, back to the race, as that was an insane wreck. Lorenzo Edorovic and Ian Toytins are both going to get their laps back here, I believe, so good for them. And yeah, Sims is the leader because of where she came out. So that screwed over a couple guys, but especially the Star Sport, as well as Daniel Rodriguez, who pit earlier. They had to line up behind all those guys who did pit just because of where they came out on pit road. So huge disadvantage for the Star Sport guys, but hopefully they'll be able to climb back into it. Aziz and Den going down pit road this time. And everything is still getting sorted out, as there was a lot of things to unpack there. One note, I don't believe they're using the choose cone. It is on the front stretch, but they're not using it as things to do with, you know, clearing black flags when we do use the choose cone. So no choose cone for today, but it is still there. And like I said, how that screwed over the Star Sport drivers. The 19 is now behind, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other cars. So Howell was lined up third. And now, sorry, it is 4 cars, not 5. But Howell now behind a lot of other cars that he wasn't behind, and especially Gonzalez Green, he was leading. So big changes in the lineup. But they're gonna get back going here in just a moment. I believe next time by, as everyone's still waving around and trying to get this order figured out. But we're gonna take one more look at wreck and see how it all unfolded from a wider view. So here's the overhead shot of Gregory as he hits Rodriguez. I'm not sure if anyone got too bad of damage. Rodriguez missed the wall, So he shouldn't have damage too bad. It looked like there was only car contact. Not really any wall contact from anyone. So hopefully everyone got through it all right. Let's take a look at Dragon's POV. Dragons in the 78. He had a huge miss. Almost hit Crawford there, but was able to get by everything. And I don't believe he sped either, so good stuff from him. He's now up front. If you saw it just a moment ago, he is, I believe, third now. So huge break for him. That'll gain him a lot of spots. We are going to be going green next time by, so it'll be an interesting way to see how this unfolds, as we'll see if they have another green flag pit stop. If they're able to have one, that would be huge, as now people are on different fuel. Not everyone is on the same fuel like when the race started, so. But your lineup for right now, Jolene Sims in the 04 is leading, Harry Crawford in the 76, then it's Dragons, Lonnie Howe and Alexander Gonzalez Green, your top 5. From there on back, Dana Rivera, Dana Rodriguez, Skylar Den, Yuko Shinonome, and Frazen Rodriguez, your top 10. I'm not sure if Juco trying to wave or just get in line. Oh, I think they misunderstood that it was single file. Okay. The Juco is behind Frazen, sorry. And from there, it's kind of a mess, as there's cars lap down and everything. But that is your top 10. We'll see how these guys are able to restart. And this is the one bad thing about being in the back when a single file restarts. If you're, wow, Landon Lyle all the way back here, actually. He just came down pit road to top off, I assume. But now that he's in the back, when you are last like this and there's that many cars, it kind of creates a problem where if someone gets a bad restart anywhere in the pack, you might lose the main draft. So it's easier when it's double file, because, you know, say there's 20 cars, you got 10 and 10 in each lane. You know, you can hop lanes and, you know, it's harder to lose a draft. But when it's single file, a lot easier to lose it. So we'll see how that works out for the guys in the back, like Landon Lyle, William Viola, and Cam McElrath, like I saw back there. But we are coming back to the green. Jolene Sims is your leader. As we're coming to lap 23, almost halfway through this chaotic race. We'll see what the rest of it has in store for us. But coming through the restart zone, Jolene Sims is going to lead the field back to green here at Talladega. And already out of line, Jelani Howell looking to go around the 78 of Dragons. And the rest of those Star Sport guys have lined up on the top. Get down for just a second, but gonna get behind Jelani, their teammate. So we'll see what moves they're able to make. And yeah, look at that. Landon Lyle all the way back there. I don't think he lost the draft. I think he'll be all right, but dangerously close. You can see that yellow M&M car all the way in the back. And now the Star Sport guys do go high this time. Oh, bit of wiggle. Harry Crawford almost got into Sims, and that's going to help the outside line. Here comes Jelani Howell, almost 3 wide, but that outside is moving. Howell comes around the outside and to the lead, the 19. What a push from the 18 of Gonzalez Green and the 5. Now those top 4 clear down. They're going to get in front of Jolene Sims, and they leave Skylar Den out to dry. Not one of their teammates, so can't blame them. Now it's Den, Dragons. Den drops back down. Now it's just Dragons and Frazen Rodriguez on the top. And if they can get anything done here. But with a lot less cars, yeah, there goes Rodriguez back to the bottom, so unfortunate. But what a push from those Star Sport guys. They got back to the front quickly. But now, here come the others. Not teammates, not quite, but Den, Sims, and Crawford trying something on that outside to get around the Star Sport guys. Big warp from Den, almost warped down into Daniel Rodriguez. But you can see how the racing intensity has picked up people using the outside line, using it effectively. So this race has changed. I won't say for better or worse, but for the more aggressive at least, as we've gotten into the second half. Now, this time around, pit stops are most likely going to be closer to lap 40, somewhere 38 to 40, I assume. Maybe even a bit earlier for some of the Star Sport guys because of how early they pit. They pit, I believe, lap 16 going on to 17, so they may have to pit around lap 35 or so. We'll see how that works out for them. Still trying to see if Den can get that working on the outside with Sims. I think it's just a matter of not having cars helping him and a good push from the guys on the inside. But he has not really been able to get past Daniel Rodriguez. They're not making any headway. They do have a couple more cars gaining on them. So we'll see if they are able to get the help that they need. But as we look at the back of the pack, Landon Lyle hasn't really lost the draft yet, I don't think. But I don't know if he has damage from that wreck. As I feel like he should have been able to catch a little bit more than this. So, still worried about him, but hopefully he's able to stick onto that draft. Lorenzo has lost the draft again. I believe he has some kind of damage. But that is it for damage cars. Carl Childers did go a lap down, but he has bounced back and is already up to at his 7th now that he passed. Here he's still, kind of dicey as they're going back and forth, but looking to get into 6th right behind Skylar Den as Den dropped back down. So far, a pretty clean race. Definitely better than I expected, but except for that obvious pit road crash. But Lonnie Howell, your leader. We've had 4 different leaders now. Howell, Gonzalez Green, Sims, and Viola, who led as the main pack after the Star Sport guys pit. So 4 different leaders. I believe 4 lead changes, I want to say. But I'm sure big moves are to come, just not yet, as we still have just about 20 to go. Coming that time, it's going to be 18 to go, or sorry, 19, as we hit lap 29 of 47. One car I do want to point out and that you should look out for is, or 2 cars actually, Grayson Rodriguez, pretty going on these super speedways. Again, I don't know if he has damage. He did get hit in the back. Oh, wow, almost a wreck there with Elrith and Shinonome. He does look to be a bit off, but I'm not sure if he's just saving or what he's doing, but he does look a bit off. Hopefully he doesn't have damage. He did get hit pretty hard in the back by Gregory, but again, he missed the wall, so that's what really matters. Well, depends, but he didn't slam into the wall and get a ton of damage, so he is still hanging in the pack. He was 11th that last time by as they crossed the line. But I was going to say look out for him, despite his damage, and Alexander Hunt, who is all the way back here. Not as far back as Landon Lyle, and I think Lyle is losing the draft. I don't think he's keeping up, so that is really unfortunate. I think he might have gotten some kind of bad damage. But that is really big for the points. Landon Lyle coming in is the points leader, 9 points over Zak Armstrong, who wasn't able to make tonight's race. So if Lyle doesn't get any points or gets very few points, Aziz got pushed after a blink. It's pretty sketchy. But like I was saying, if Lyle doesn't gain any points, or not a lot, only a few points on Zak Armstrong, that's pretty huge, because if Lyle were to win, he would go up, 30 points and be... Oh, and there goes Harry Crawford! Humongous crash in the tri-oval. Caution is going to come out. I believe the leaders had already crossed the line. I think they'll have to race it back again. Yeah, they will. Gonzalez Green went to the lead. Wow, what a crash. Harry Crawford on his lid. But they're going to be racing it back here for the race back. Obviously, I don't know. That was pretty redundant. Oh, big block by Jelani Howell. Skylar Ding gets put out of line. Almost got bumper grabbed to his death there, but he lives. Gonzalez Green leads over Rivera and Sims. Seeing if they can make it back to the line cleanly. I think everybody in this pack just kind of wants to make it through and not end up like the others did in that humongous crash. Gonzalez Green takes the race back. Caution is out now. Wow, Harry Crawford's engine is done. How unfortunate. That sucks for him. He had a solid run going tonight, you know, had a shot at the win. I think Hector Garcia also has pretty bad damage. Doesn't look like he's able to accelerate well. I can see his RPM gauge, you know, kind of struggling to get up there. So he might have some pretty bad damage. Oh, wow, what a crash. We'll take a look at that in just a second to see what caused it. This car's in 3 now. But like I was saying before I got cut off by that wreck, Lyle could go up, you know, closer to 40 points if he's able to win. And Zak Armstrong's not here, but seeing how it's going right now, he may not gain any, if only a few points on him, which is huge. That took out Harry Crawford, who is in the top 10 in points, but unfortunate wreck for him. Pretty much every car is going to be coming down pit road. I don't believe anybody will stay out, as that would be an odd decision. Lorenzo Edorovic is a lucky dog, so he'll get a pass and be on the lead lap again. But this is the quest to see who can get out of pit road the quickest. Who can take the least amount of fuel? Is anybody going to take tires? A couple people take tires. Gonzalez Green is not one of them. And he's actually going to get beat. Yes, he gets beat by Sims. She probably had to take less fuel than these guys since they pit earlier. So big win for Jolene Sims out of pit road. That puts her in the lead. And again, it's single file, so she'll have the lead no matter what. These two staying out, obviously, will get a wave around. And now that we have the chance, we're going to take a look at that wreck. See here as they're coming through the tri-oval, Viola just gives Crawford a bad push, and he goes on his lid very quickly. Huge crash. It's not a good push in the tri-oval, and it led to absolute destruction of a couple cars, more than a couple cars there. Crawford especially, though, he got it the worst, I think. Here is Kirsten Bell's POV put behind Viola. See that push there, and she tries to avoid it, but Gregory gets in the back of her. She does save it, I think. It's tapped by Aziz. I don't think she had any bad damage from that, so you know, it could have been worse for her. Could have been a lot worse, really. As we're gonna take a look at Gregory, because he went through something pretty bad. Here is his hero. Didn't have a lot of time to check out Fort Bell. Don't really blame for that, but then he got hooked low, got tagged by the 59 of Toytons, and spun out on the apron there. So humongous wreck. Hate to see it, because this looked like it could have been a good race, especially with, you know, everyone having to pit, but not anymore. I don't believe anyone else will have to pit because of that. So we're just talking about Aziz's POV. We're just going slowly back farther and farther. See, he gets in the Dragons, then gets in the Kirsten, but he looks to save it. Man, keeps going. What a phenomenal crash, though. Hate to see it, but things do happen. So Harry Crawford is the first and so far only retirement of the evening. Again, you really do hate to see that. Crawford had a good run going, but that is going to be his first DNF of the season in 6 starts. Well, this is a 7 start, so 1 out of 7 DNFs. Hopefully he can bounce back next week. which next week, by the way, is Chicagoland. It is going to be the IFAR type Chicagoland. So if you saw, I believe it was Zak Armstrong on Cheese Food Media. If you saw his stream of IFAR Chicagoland, it's going to be similar to that. So hopefully I will be able to stream that. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be back streaming, full time or more than I did, or if this is just kind of a one-off for the season, but we'll see as we get deeper into the season. But yeah, again, that wreck just took a huge toll on points. Landon Lyle now is in the top 10. So he would score good points if he were to finish there. Not sure if he will finish there, seeing as his damage is pretty bad. But as of right now, he'll gain a couple points over Zak Armstrong. Thomas Troxel isn't here. Alexander Hunt is actually 4th in points, but he is 42 points back. So if he wants to get anywhere near Lyle after this race, he would basically need a win, which is not impossible. But he was hanging back pretty hard earlier, and we'll see what he's capable of. But for now, coming back to the green, Jolene Sims over Alexander Gonzalez. You go out of line already. Gonna get shuffled back pretty quick. And there is Hunt, pretty much all the way in the back. I'm not sure if he has damage. I don't think he has damage. If it is, it's not too bad. I think he's just kind of hanging out back for now. But he's gonna want to get up front pretty quickly if he wants a chance at this. You can see how bad the damage is for some of these guys back here. Dragon's falling off quick. Julian Viola already off the pack. Hunt might have damage, and there was a wreck up front. Look back for half a second, and they're crashing big. Jelani Howe on his lid. Oh my goodness, another huge crash right off the restart. This time coming back to the checker, or to the yellow. Jolene Sims gets it over Gonzalez Green, just barely. Oh my goodness. I was looking in the back for half a second, and I think it was Rivera was sideways, got turned on the top line. Wow, what a crash. This race is just looking like it's coming down to survival. More than anything, Landon Lyle is in the top 5 now after all that. So despite the damage he has, top 5, you can only see 6 cars right now. There's a couple more, but that just showed you how big that wreck was because it took out so many people. I'm sure that'll change things around a bit, but in terms of pitting, I don't think any of the leaders or people who avoided that wreck are going to have to pit, because we should be good on fuel from here. The last pit was, I think, 33, 32, and that is more than enough to make it to the end of the race at lap 47. So I don't expect to see many of these leaders pitting unless they have damage. So yeah, there are a lot of leaders staying out. First car to pit, Daniel Rodriguez in the 20, who definitely was in that wreck. I saw him. Grayson Rodriguez, Jelani Howe, Daniel Rivera. So yeah, that is unfortunate, but let's go take a look at that replay while we have the chance. Oh, and it just looked like another bad push in a corner. This time it was the teammates, Star Sport teammates. Jelani Howe. Actually, no, I was wrong. It was a little door from the 25. Wow, and Howell just goes right over. Oh my goodness, and a close call there. I believe that was Dragons. But no, I was wrong. He did end up bumper grabbing, but it looked like a Cameron McElrath on the inside in the 25. I don't know if it was Rourke or if he just... No, it was a little bit of Metro, but he hit the 5, and that got him turned by his teammate. The one spins into it. There's Daniel Rodriguez in it. The 32 to 8. A lot of cars in that one. I want to take a look and see how a couple of these other cars got into it. It was the 01 Fraser Rodriguez. That happened early. They start crashing. He brakes. He just gets tackled from behind by Childress, who was already sideways. I think Childress was already hit by someone. Take a look at that really quick. And a small little love tap to the 19. And here is the last thing we're going to do called Childress. Yeah, just gets trucked by Tall Aziz. They all were trying to go on the apron, and that loses you control of your car a little more, and Aziz hit the 8, unfortunately. No. They are going green this time by. Everybody has already come around in pit. So, good to go this time. I'm excited to see how the end of this race turns out because we got a lot of cars that got taken out, unfortunately. But now we have a lot more damaged cars up front, so I'm wondering how that's going to shake things up. We shall see. Sims over Gonzalez Green and Den, top 3, and then it's Cam McElrath and Landon Lyle, the final 2 in your top 5. But coming back to the green, she'll be taking 9 laps to go, is Jolene Sims. Reminder, point of no return is at 5 to go, so once you see that ticker hit lap 43 out of 47, that is when we will have no more cautions. No matter what happens, no matter who wrecks, there won't be any more yellows for it. Like I said earlier, Sims is still looking to get her first win in OSCC. And McCarroll looking to go with Skylar Den. Is he going to ditch him though? No, he stays with him. And Landon Lyle had that damage earlier. I'm not sure if that's still affecting him. Den gets back down just barely. No one really trying that outside right now. Not really putting their heart into it at least. These top 2 battled 2 weeks ago at New Hampshire and now are working together at Talladega, the Superspeedway. Question is, will Gonzalez stick with her the whole way, or will he try his own magic? Ben and McElrath both tried top, but then ended up almost going 3 wide, so they both get back in line after a failed attempt. Lonnie Howe is still in the race despite his massive flip. His damage actually, he doesn't seem to be too bad off. Seems to be keeping up solidly somehow, but we'll see if he falls off eventually. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Landon Lyle has fallen back a bit. Not sure if it's the damage or if it was when he tried to go to the top that set him back. But single file up front as of right now. And we had another wreck. Delaney Howell. And that was coming to 6 to go. Sims will get the race back. Not really much contention there. But 6 to go caution. They'll be going back green with either 3 or 4 to go. So it'll be a shootout at the point of no return. We'll see how this ends up. I don't assume any of the leaders are going to pit here, but take a look at how that wreck occurred. And I think it was another pushing incident. Especially, I hate to say, Richard there behind his teammate. Howell kind of started sliding, but I think that slide might have been from getting hit from Rivera, so there we go. I think he just gets tapped. But that spins him into the 56 of Hector Garcia. Unfortunate, but Hector doesn't seem to have that bad of damage. Just a little bit of right side damage, hopefully. So maybe he can continue on without too bad of damage. Here's Carl Childress POV. He got a little door from 64, who just didn't expect them to need to go low there all of a sudden, but it's are open this time. There's only 2 cars coming down, and it's 2 cars that were in the wreck. Jelani Howell actually elects to stay out. I guess his damage isn't bad, or he has no damage, but tires might be alright as well. But these 2 coming down pit road, and I believe it'll be a quick caution. And that means they'll be going back with 4 to go instead of 3. Gives them an extra lap to battle it out. And pace lights are out. And one thing, I just saw the chat. I am gonna see if I can find Dragon's hero send through the wreck after the race. I don't want to do it now in case I can't get back to. Actually, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see if we can get it real quick. It wasn't this wreck. It was the previous wreck, but he had a hero send through it and barely made it. So let's see. Get that POV. He is blinking a bit, so apologies for that. But you see, he just comes through flying, barely makes it. Wow, what a send, bold send. That was from the wreck 2 wrecks ago, not this latest one. So, wow, what a send. He made it through, but I think that was mostly luck, not really any skill. No offense, Dragons, but questioning if anybody else will know it. If anyone else will make a move late here in the race. Didn't see a lot of moves on that last restart. We saw Den and McElrath try something on the outside a couple times, but nothing really amounted from that. So hopefully they or someone else can actually get it going on the outside and take the lead away from the 04 and 18. But these two are a dangerous duo, pushing each other really well. So gonna be hard to beat. But again, it's gonna be 4 laps to go as Jolene Sims will lead into the green again. A little bit of wheel spin from Den there in 13, but he gets it back in line. Back going in time. He's again going to be looking outside of the 18, but not really anything there. Landon Lyle and Daniel Rodriguez trying that top. They are falling back quick. I think Lyle's damage is getting to him. I believe if he's not in, draft of multiple cars, it really starts stinging him. Whoa, big check up there. McElrath and Den got together. That's going to prompt Kirsten Bell and Alexander Hunt to go to the top. They'll drop back down behind the leaders. And this is going to be a huge point shaker, as a lot of the top runners either aren't here or are in the back, closer to the back at least. Landon Lyle is still holding on right now. It is 7th. So, not doing too bad, but we'll see if he falls back anymore in the final couple laps. As we know, his damage is not the greatest. But Gonzalez still pushing strong on the 04 of Sims. And McElrath is trying to go top, block Kirsten Bell. His teammate Elaine Johnson had a shot at the win last season, but got turned out of 4 on the final lap, and that resulted in a huge crash. Landon Loudenback took the win. 2 laps to go here. Sims and Gonzalez still holding strong up front. Here comes Alexander Hunt on the bottom. He decided to stick with them on the bottom instead of going top. Had to check up slightly out of 2, sorry. So far, so good. Here comes the top line now. Oh, wrecking the back. William Gregory and Yan Tweetins. They're going to go around, slide back onto the track. Oh, Yan is going to flip. Dragons gets by. We'll take a look at that in a second. But here they come, the 2 Kyle Busch cars leading the 2 lines. Oh, big wiggle from the top. Sims is going to take the white flag. One more lap here around Talladega. The top line getting a great run here. They have number advantage. There's not much the bottom can do right now. They'll have the advantage through the corner, but it's going to be on exit that top line is going to work really well. Can we see Cam McElrath get his first win? Are we going to see Jolene Sims get her first win? Big push. Here comes Cam McElrath. He's on the top line, making his way to the front. He hasn't led a lap today. He's been in the top 5 for most of this last 15-ish laps. The back of the pack has caught up. And now they're going to be even through the tri-oval. Coming back to the checkered flag, side by side. Kim and McElrath is going to win here at Talladega. What an absolutely spectacular finish. And the 25 will get the dub. His first in OSCC. What a spectacular finish. We'll go take a look at that wreck in just a second here. Wow. And there was a wreck coming to the line as well, so we'll look at that. But first, gonna take a look at the William Gregory and Jan Toyton's win. So here is that wreck. They're pushing in the back, just a chain bump that gets them all out of shape. The 59 pushed the 27, who got pushed by the 8 of Carl Childress. And yeah, the 59 did go over a couple times, unfortunately. That sent him into William Gregory. And there was one more wreck coming to the line with Daniel Rivera and Jason Rodriguez. Just came together in the same space. But it was right at the line. I don't believe either of them lost anything. But what a huge, huge finish. And what a win for the 25 of Cam. He did get killed, so no burnouts for him. But either way, great win for him. And the first time winner of Hector Garcia, pushing him around along with Dragons. The 2 back-to-back first-time winners this season. 56 and the 25. And that is our 7th different winner of the season. So, wow. 7 different winners in 7 races so far. We'll see if that streak can keep going next week into Chicagoland. But as of right now, the 7 different winners, we have Landon Lyle, points leader. Zak Armstrong took one as well in second. William Viola took one. Hector Garcia last week. Gonzalez Green took one the week prior to that. Robbie Gilvin has a win, and now Cameron McElrath. So that is our 7 different winners in the 7 races. If anyone else can get another in the next race, it'll be a tie for the record of most amount of first-time winners. Obviously not including season 1, but so far it's looking like we're gonna get a new record for that. We'll see if anyone wants to take a look or do an interview real quick, but before that, we're gonna look at the final lap from McElrath, or at least through the tri-oval. Go on board with him. And really all he had to do was keep it straight. He had the run over Sims, a little bit better run. It was just a matter of not getting turned and not screwing up into the wall. But there it is. What a win for him. And that top line really started pushing well at the end. But what a race for the 25. Alrighty, we are back here with finisher Alexander Gonzalez Green. Came home 4th after a hard-fought battle on the inside line, pushing Jolene Sims. How was that? How was that run to the end?
Run to the end was interesting. I think that was working well with Jolene. Was able to link the bumpers quite well. Didn't really need another car to get the lines to work. But yeah, no, it was tricky. It was hard to say. I think the outside probably was the faster line around the track, but it would have not worked if we just went up there with two cars. So we were kind of forced into staying on the bottom. And I tried to let Jolene know that they could block the top, and I would leave room back down on the bottom for them to come and get help or get more help once they're done blocking. But the timing was just bad. They kind of caught us out of two, and Jolene wasn't able to make the block, or just wasn't willing to be aggressive enough to make the block. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of frustrating to finish fourth after orchestrating the strategy and working together with other cars really well all race. Yeah, just a little bit frustrating to finish fourth after all that.
Take me through those wrecks with your teammates. So I know you were not in them directly, but through the wrecks that happened without y'all on pit road, and then the ones that took out your teammates, what did that change about your strategy and how you approached the end of this race?
Yeah, we were pretty confident in pitting early in the first run. We didn't want to go with the field just because I kind of figured there'd be a wreck, and surely enough there was. Almost bit us though. Thankfully, we were able to get back on the lead lap before the yellow, so we didn't have to take the wave and be at the back of the field. Yep. Which was just unfortunate. But I think it was the right call to pit without everybody. We just didn't get formed out super well on that first pit stop. Caution sort of bailed us out. Then we were restarting behind some cars that I knew we could pass, so we got formed up, passed those cars, went straight to the lead, and had no problems. Outside lane started to form up a little bit, so we were starting to learn, get some data on just how that was going to impact the race. And then we had another yellow in the midst there, so we wanted to top off on gas and get sort of ready to finish the race on one fuel stint. And I think we overfueled by half a can. I think we probably could have taken one. Jolene made it on one, but there was yellows after, so I was kind of hoping that would go green to the end, and the extra fuel would just help us out, so we'd be able to push a little bit harder. Got us broken up. I was with Dan, who wasn't having some issues, wasn't able to push me super well, and then Jelani and D-Dog were together. But then we had that restart, timed it well on the cars in front of us. We're building good runs. Went to the outside in 3, had all my teammates behind me, and car on the inside just drove into the apron on their own and sort of took the rest of my teammates out. Not all of them had super bad damage. I think D-Dog was fine, but basically ended Dan and Jelani's races. So yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I know the track's hard to drive, but it's just a little bit, again, frustrating, like I said, to
Drive so well.
you can say what you like about teammates working together on play tracks, but it still takes a lot of skill. We were doing everything we needed to be doing and playing with the cards that were dealt to us, so didn't feel like we were making mistakes and just got taken out by somebody else. And then we rounded out to the last run where I was up on Jolene, which I already talked about, where just couldn't really get it going as well as the outside, and nobody was willing to make a move on the leader on the outside. So
it's hard. You guys led pretty much every lap up until that incident that took out your teammates. But regardless, still a solid result. P4. So congratulations and best of luck in the rest of the season if you do race. Hope to see you next week at Chicagoland. I-4 Chicagoland.
yeah, thank you for putting this together, and thanks for the broadcast.
Of course. Take care. Alrighty, we are back here with our second interviewee, Cameron McElrath, first-time winner here in OSCC. Won it for Kyle Busch. Really happy to see that a Kyle Busch car was able to win the race. I mean, it looked like one of two was going to win it on the last lap, but take me through that last kind of run and how you ended up taking the checkered.
Yeah, so I don't even know how I got to like third. When the 13 like dropped out of line, I was so confused because I was willing to push the 13 to the win, and then the top line formed up, and I got up there. I was surprised they let me lead the line. I thought they were gonna run right by me because I suck at Talladega for some reason at holding lines, but they coached me through it. Harry was spotted from above. Rest in peace, Harry.
Yep.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, just great pushes.
Take me through that those crashes that you had to get through or were in that led to where you ended up.
Yeah, the first crash. What was the first crash? It was like, oh, it was the pit
Pit
road
road.
incident.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I, I was, I didn't even know why we all decided just to shove it off four like that. Everyone dropped down so early. We all just got mumble jumbled and just started wrecking each other. I wish we kind of didn't because I would not have minded a little green flag run. I wanted
Yeah.
a green flag stop, but
It
nope.
was looking good, like
Then
it was gonna be one, and then
yep.
that happened.
And then we had the second crash, which was the big one with Harry.
Yep.
And I don't think I lifted for that wreck at all. I think I just
Powered through.
kind of went through. I was on the bottom. I saw the saw everlasting freedom on the bottom, and I just look. You just went for it. So and it's pretty. Oh, and then the incident with the five. I on my screen I didn't touch him, but I mean it's up to discretion of how many people saw me actually touch him. So I won't. I mean I didn't try to do that. I don't know if I hit the apron. I don't remember exactly, but
It looked
I'll take
like
blame for the incident.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of both. It looked like I don't know if you hit the apron or just kind of got squirrely, but slid up slightly, and then the rest of it was net code. But it
Yeah,
was a
that
mix
was
of both. So
yeah, that
unfortunately,
was just my fault. I feel bad for the five because I ruined his stuff and then everyone else who I ruined. So not really pretty bittersweet win.
yeah, yeah.
Wish I
But
didn't do that.
things happen. Either way, first win. Congratulations
Yes.
again. I'm sure that's either way, wreck or not. I'm sure that's still exciting to finally get one here. But
Sir, yes, sir.
congratulations. Anything else you wanted to
Thank
add?
you. The 29's the greatest pusher ever.
Shout out to Kirsten Bell. You heard it here. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Cam, and
Yep.
congratulations again on the win.
Yep. Thank you.
Alrighty, back here. Third interview, we have Landon Lyle. Lyle, you came home. Actually, hold on. Let me get a check on where you came home. Seventh. Okay. All right, Landon Lyle. Sorry about that. Came home seventh. Congratulations on top 10. I'm sure you wanted better, but take me through your race. How it ended up. It looked like you had a little bit of damage there, so talk me through it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there was a point. Well, at the start of the race, I mean, I started pretty well, but I also didn't want to be a part of all that. And admittedly, the server was really laggy, uh, which was not a common thing, I feel. But I don't know. I didn't really. I didn't want to be a part of the chaos, so I went back. But then after that first yellow, I genuinely thought I had some damage. Like after entering the pits, I made a really dumb mistake entering the pits. I believe flat 20 or no, it's 18, yeah. And I turned to the right when someone was on my outside because I was trying to avoid pitting when the yellow had just come out. Which, oh my god, that was Viola. Oh, I'm so sorry, Viola. Yeah, it didn't really kill him that much, but that's what I'm assuming gave me some sort of damage that I don't know. But you really needed to be pushed, and you really needed to be in the draft, like a nice draft. You have to get pushed too. So,
Yep.
I didn't like the package at all that much. I know you guys have been in it for a long time, but I'm happy for the P7. I mean, it's top 10, so it was a little bit fun, but I did hate just the way it raced most of the time. The server lag really didn't help. I'm surprised we even got the top to run at the end there. Congrats to Cameron, by the way. I understand anyone that's frustrated at that, but I appreciate you streaming, and I don't know, I feel like the chassis 3 thing it's doable, but to only a degree, and I don't know, this track, the grips, especially on the tri-oval, are just so strange. And I know it's not, you're never going to get a perfect race at Superspeedway. It's just never going to happen, but it's just, I don't know, something just felt really off, and I don't want to like say CTS because that's what everyone runs, but it might be a
CTS
good.
is the solution to everything.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Essex chassis 2 stuff because it's a little bit crazy with their field, but they do have like tandeming working really well, and you have racing similar to what a Roblox Superspeedway race would look like for
So
about
now you
100% of
you
the
just
race.
want road
You know?
racing is what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, it keeps people a little bit more engaged. I don't know. It's hard to do. I mean, with these cars, it's COT, so you want to like make them feel like the maximum power of a COT, like Michigan or
Right.
Auto Club or something, not like a, you know, restrictor plate and all that. So I don't know. It's
Either way, you still
it's
gain
fun.
good points. Your main
Yeah, I did.
championship competitor right now is Zach, and he wasn't here. I was talking about it on stream, and it wasn't looking too hot when you were in like I think you were in like 17th or something, and
I
you
know. I
had
was in 20th at one
almost
point,
lost the
dude.
draft, and my game just crashed. That is
Eh,
nice.
I saved the replay.
okay.
I was looking at my replay. I was like, wait, the game just crashed.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, sorry about that, guys. We'll try to get that back up in just a sec, but yeah, you still gained good points, so
Yeah, you
solid.
can't really complain with that.
Yeah, can't complain with especially not with the top 10, but I know you definitely wanted to gain more, but any points is good points over Zach.
Yeah.
Especially considering how well he's been running as of late.
Yeah, very impressive. I genuinely did think though. I will be honest. Like, I thought I was not even going to be able to get a single point in him. I'm like, great, I'm gonna finish 20th place, and he's not going to even race. So,
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's like you might as well not race at that point. But hey, B7, I believe that gets you 10. I want to say 10? No, 9.
10
9
doubloons.
points. 9 points. Plus any bonus points. I don't think you led any laps though, unfortunately. So, but it happens.
It's all right.
Still a good run from you. Did you have anything else you wanted to
add? Nope, but I got the replay for you.
Yeah, thank you. I did get that.
All right. Well, I'll be seeing you. Thank you very much.
Of course, and congrats on the top 10 again, and hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
And last interviewer for the day is going to be Lorenzo. Let me see. Sorry about that, because my game crashed, so I lost I lost where I was on track and everything, but
that sucks.
Lorenzo, you came home in 16th.
Yeah.
Take me through that last everything really. That last restart, the wrecks and all that. Tell me how your race went, essentially.
The goal was basically just survive. I don't know really what to say. I came in here with minimal practice. I just wanted to drive because I haven't driven in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was dissatisfied with other leagues that had no connection or correlation with the game, let alone the cars. I was like, right, I want to go back to doing something that I enjoy and that I'm average at the very best.
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna drive Talladega because why not? Qualifying, I was 10th off. I was, well, like 11th in qualifying. That's okay, I didn't mind that. Then lap 2, sailed wide into turn 1. Hit the wall. I got stuck on the wall. I couldn't get off of it until I got past 2.
Yeah, I remember that. And just lost the draft, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was a driver error. I'm not gonna deny it. But at the time, I was like, right, well, I saw people lagging all around me. Maybe it's better to stick behind, not interrupt anyone. Then I think someone said in this server chat that it's just a general server issue. So I was like, well, what now? Because I was like on the buffet, and now I was buffet. So I spent the entire rest of the race trying to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And I only managed to do so with 10 to go. I pit once I got lapped, and just as I was exiting the pit lane, I got lapped by the people who decided to stay out longer. And then the caution came out, so I was 2 laps down. So when I got the wave around, only
got back up to 1 lap down, and then on the second caution, I literally entered the pit lane. As I saw on the timing HUD, or whatever you call it, that the leading pack was behind me instead of in front of me. Like, the gap was still 20 seconds. I just decided to pit anyways because I knew that I was gonna have to pit anyways. I was on like 5 or 6 laps of fuel remaining anyways. So I pit, and while I'm in the pit lane, the caution comes out. Now, I don't know if I got lapped by the field and then the caution came out, or whether the caution came out and then I got lapped. But when I saw, once I got the wave around, I was only 1 lap down again instead of on the lead lap. I was a bit upset, but I was like, this is Dega, there's gonna be another caution. I just need to be smart about it. And I was smart about it. I decided to stay. I managed not decide to stay in the draft this time. There was another caution, like 2, maybe 3 laps later. I avoided everything, stayed in the mid pack, got another wave around, and I was back on the lead lap again. I know for the final caution, something happened in front of me. I'm not exactly sure what. I just know that while I was trying to avoid it, I was in the inside of Carl. I think I was in the middle lane, somewhere in between the low and middle lane, and I went to brake, but either my brakes didn't register well enough, or I just didn't input enough braking force. And even though I was steering away from everything, I still kind of doored Carl into it. So, he said it's fine. I don't know. I hope it is. And I hope it doesn't happen again, because I didn't mean to do it, obviously. But I don't know. Other than that, the rest of my end of the race went alright. I just kind of decided to stay with the pack, maybe try and make some moves. Some succeeded, but I don't know. I think my biggest mistake in the end of the race, once I was back on the lead lap, was trying to make moves from the outside. Because I would get such a good run up out of 4, and then try and make a move into the trial up high, and then everyone would pull back in for 1 and 2, and then I'd lose the draft and drop back down to behind the person. I think it was with 2 to go that I dropped even further back because it was 3 wide, so I would drop back all the way to, I think, 18th, and then in the 59 and 32, I had a bit of a scuffle in front. So I got back 2 positions. I got back up to 15 for a moment. I was trying to pass 27, the 8, and 78. Got some good draft as well. They both got past me. Tried to get back past, but I just didn't have good enough draft to finish P16. But from going into our race like a lap or 2 down, and like half a year away, I want to say, from any stock car racing, to be nearly in the top 15, I'm pleased, especially because I didn't cause much trouble to anyone.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, still put together a solid race. Just barely outside the points, but glad to see your return regardless. Hopefully you'll race at least one of the other races. We got 5 left in the season, so hope to see you at one of those. But again,
I think I'll be doing the intermediates for the remainder of the season. So I'll be next weekend at Chicagoland, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll try and make an actual team for next time.
But
shout out Palantir or whatever. I don't even know what to do.
Either way, glad to see you back, and good finish tonight. Hope to see you next week, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm off to bed.
Well, folks, that will do it for tonight's race at Talladega. Congratulations again to Cameron McElrath on his first career win. Really happy for him. First career win in OSCC. Glad to see another first-time winner, 7 out of 7 this season. Thank you all for joining us on the stream. I'm not sure if I'll be back full-time or if just, one race, but we'll see. We'll figure that out. Either way, this was really fun, even though I didn't have anybody with me. Still enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed as well. And if I am back, we'll see you next week for Chicagoland. So yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Again, rest in peace to Kyle Busch. Prayers out for his family, his friends, everyone in the NASCAR community. I know it hit pretty much all of us hard, but I'm glad that a Kyle Busch car was able to win in the end for him. So congrats, Cam. And yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in.